Indian economy you have known for last 15 years just died and most of you are still living in the ghost of it. We are entering a pre-1945 mindset where resources are weaponized. And if you don't understand the $228 billion max behind it, you are the one who will pay the ignorant tax in 2026. Prepare for the worst when UdayKotak, founder of Kotak Mahindra Bank, speak these words. He isn't trying to clickbait you. He isn't selling you a course. He is looking at the plumbing of the global economy, the pipe that carries oil, dollars, and influence. He is seeing a massive blockage, and he made a few statements that deserve serious attentions. Most people wait for the news to tell them there is a crisis. But the people who build empires, the vanguard, look for the whispers before they scream. UdayKotak mentioned a hostile pre-1945 mindset. So, what does that actually mean? To understand 2006, you must understand 1945. Before 1945, the world was dominated by colonial powers, dominations, aggressive nationalisms, and large-scale wars. The world wasn't a global village. It was a collection of fortresses. If you wanted resources, you did not just trade for them, you conquered them. Countries tries to control territories, resources, trade routes, and even government of weaker nations. Global politics were driven more by power and fear than corporations. Today, while the world looks modern on the surface, many signs of that old mindsets are returning. We are seeing this return in the form of economical materialism. Nations are becoming more defensive. Alliances are shifting. Trade wars are increasing. And strategic controls over resources. Look at the semiconductors. Look at the rare earth matters. Countries are no longer asking whether it is cheaper. They are asking who owns the switch that turns my economy off. This shift is creating a strategical panorama where every nation is hoarding not just gold but data, energy, and food. And that's my his others focus was on strategical panorama. Normally, panorama is seen as fear or overthinking, but strategical panorama means preparing yourself before the crisis actually arrives. It means accepting that conditions can become worse and planning according instead of reacting emotionally later. This idea applies to individuals, companies, and a nation at large. The world is entering a phase of uncertainty and economic pressure. But those who prepare wisely may not only survive the crisis, they may also create opportunity during it. There is a reason why people says only the paranoid survive. He has also mentioned that India hasn't felt the full impact of Iran conflict yet because of our strategic reserve and long-term contracts. All thanks to Mr. NarendraModi. But this reserve, this contract, this cushion is thinning. But the real impact is coming. And it could come in a very big way. India imports over 80% of its oil. When the Middle East destabilizes, it's not just about the price at the petrol pump. It is about the insurance of survival. The oil price, these shipping routes, the insurance trap, and eventually the Indian economy. While the public sees high prices, there is a massive shadow economy of oil being traded outside the dollar system. If India is forced to navigate this, we risk secondary sanctions from the West. This is the tightrope the Indian government is walking while we are worrying about a daily commute. We all have heard Mr. Modi request to every Indian, and these conversations have already become common in India. Reduce unnecessary imports, use public transport, support Swadeshi, avoid excessive foreign trade, don't rush towards gold buying. India's biggest challenge is not only economic growth. The biggest challenge is managing energy import and controlling dollar outflow. Whenever India imports more gold, more dollars are needed. When India spends heavily on foreign travel, rupees are converted into foreign currencies, especially dollars. When crude oil price rises, India again needs larger dollar payments because oil imports are dollar based. This all creates pressure on Indian economy and on Indian forex reserves. And when pressure on currency increases, government usually become more cautious about capital movement and foreign exchange outflow. That is why in coming years, this is what I feel. Rules around outward residents, foreign spendings may become stricter. Governments start monetizing capital flow more aggressive when economy uncertainly rises. In most simpler terms, how gold plus crude can hurt the rupee. We buy crude oil in dollars. If crude import bill is bigger, demand for dollar increases. We also buy gold in dollars. If gold import rises, demand for dollar increases even more. More demand for dollars is equal to dollar becoming expensive versus rupees. And here where we are hurt, the rupees falls. The logic is both together create larger dollar outflow. But let's understand this. The same amount of gold for the same amount of crude. What it means? If the country is spending almost as much on gold as on critical fuel, that's a big non-productive imports at gold as gold does not run factories or transport. It in fact worsens the trade deficits, putting the pressure on the rupees. When we import lot of these items, we need more dollars to pay for them. Higher demands for dollars means dollar becoming costlier compared to the rupees and the rupees weakens. At the same time, large import payments can widen the current account deficit, which can add further pressure on the rupee and on the foreign exchange reserves. Now, what spending on gold like it's as important as crude really means? Crude oil is a critical input for economy, transport, logistic, manufacturing, cooking oil, and so on. While the gold on other hand is mostly consumption or saving asset, it does not directly increase the productive capacity in the same way. If gold imports becomes very large, they can widen the trade deficit without adding matching productive output, which can increase pressure on the rupee. Yes, everyone talks about the brick currency or the fall of dollar. But here is the secret. When the world gets scary, everyone runs to the dollar first. This dollar smiles means that even as the economy weakens because the world is in a panic mode. Strategic panorama means knowing that the rupee's value is your personal purchasing power. Critics, especially the opposition leaders, call this request an inflammatory on freedom. They have forgotten 2013. In 2013, Mr. Chidambaram and Dr. Manmohan Singh, the gold standard of academic economics, made the exact same play. India was facing a current account deficit of around 4.8%. They did not do it because they hated gold. They did it because the ship was taking on water. It worked. The CAD shrunk to 1.4% only because people stopped buying it and the purchases of gold went to half. There was no global war, no oil shock, no external crisis. India just had a balance sheet problem. So the most educated economics team in India history acted. Import duty went from 4.4% to 10%. Gold import fell almost half. The CAD shrunk from 4.8% of the GDP to 1.7%. Yes, it worked. In 2000 nothing, nobody had Instagram, but the same critics existed. They live in WhatsApp forwards, newspaper, opinion pages, chai shop conversations. The audience never changes. The microphone does. Our PM Modi made the same ask. This time with a real West crisis pressuring on oil and the rupee. Same outrage. Surely a different decade. What changed in 2026 is the algorithm. A reel saying PM Modi is wrong gets 10x more shares than one explaining a $220 billion import bill. The outrage form. Education does not. The Motilal Oswal Nasdaq 100 ETF trade at approximately 20% premium to its intrinsic value because demand is that heavy. These are the same people who chases silver to 4 lakhs per kg and did nothing. Ignore it completely below 1 lakh. Outrage and FMO are the same crowd. They follow noise, not history. And mark my words, they will cry the next mid-year. Not because India failed them, but because they never paused to the real data. Read history, analyze facts, and calm down. Thank you.